The complete synthesis, mindfulness from ancient wisdom to modern neuroscience synthesis, distills the core principles and practices from your comprehensive mindfulness library. Organized by the essential functions of the practice, the foundational principle, what mindfulness is and is not. The foundational texts establish a precise understanding of mindfulness. Moving beyond the simple concept of being present, mindfulness is defined by a specific quality of attention, bare attention and wholesome state. Goldstein. Gunaratana. Mindfulness is fundamentally the practice of observing the present moment without judgment or reaction. Joseph Goldstein's work and Henepola Gunaratana's Mindfulness in Plain English stress that true mindfulness is a wholesome, skillful state of mind. It is present moment awareness free of greed, aversion, and delusion. The technique itself is simple, but the application requires continuous, gentle effort to simply witness phenomena without entanglement, active noticing, and mind-body unity. Langer. Siegel, from a cognitive science perspective. Ellen Langer defines mindfulness as the active process of noticing new things and seeing familiar things in new ways. This principle asserts that a mindset of curiosity and awareness directly improves health outcomes by breaking rigid, self-limiting beliefs, proving the concept of mind-body unity. Daniel J. Siegel integrates neuroscience, defining mindfulness as aware, grounded, focused attention that fosters integration, the healthy linkage of differentiated parts of the brain and body. The practice, the pillars of cultivation and healing. Mindfulness is cultivated through practices designed to anchor attention, heal emotional wounds, and break ingrained habits. 1. Focusing and anchoring the formal path. This involves training the attention to stay with the chosen anchor. The body, and specifically the breath, is the primary anchor, a principle highlighted by Goldstein's deep dive into the Satipa Sutta and its four foundations: body, feelings, mind, dhammas. Runasuk Koik champions the practice of not thinking, which relies on the breath as a constant anchor, allowing thoughts to pass naturally without engagement. This can be shifted to effortless presence, as taught by Locke Kelly, where the aim is to bypass concentration and unhook into a naturally expansive, aware state that is already present. 2. Healing and self-compassion. The relational path. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for healing trauma and building inner resilience. David 8. Relevan's work on trauma-sensitive mindfulness is crucial here, warning that practices can be re-traumatizing if they overwhelm the nervous system. Safe practice requires an emphasis on titration, gradual exposure, choice, and anchoring in the body's safety and resources. This healing path is strengthened by compassion, radical compassion, and R.A.I.N. Brach. Tara Brach offers the practical four-step practice of R.A.I.N. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture, a structured way to meet painful emotions with kindness and wisdom. Dissolving the shame that fuels suffering. Mindful self-compassion. Neff and Germer. Kristen Neff and Christopher Germer provide a proven framework built on three components: mindfulness of suffering, common humanity recognizing suffering is shared, and self-kindness responding to ourselves with warmth. This builds the inner strength necessary for the entrepreneurial mindset you cultivate. 3. Breaking cycles and expanding connection. The transformative path. Mindfulness is used here to alter deep-seated cognitive and emotional patterns and broaden the scope of awareness. Unwinding anxiety. Brewer. Judson A. Brewer uses neuroscience to explain the anxiety habit loop: trigger, behavior, reward. Mindfulness helps by inserting awareness into the trigger phase, breaking the cycle by recognizing that the reward worrying or avoiding is actually suffering. Relational mindfulness. Tull. Deborah Eden Tull expands mindfulness to our connections, emphasizing that our presence and awareness or lack thereof profoundly affects our relationships with others and the planet. Relational mindfulness is about bringing full, non-judgmental awareness to interactions, mindfulness and desire. Lori Brato's work applies mindfulness to intimacy, showing that non-judgmental attention to physical sensations can improve sexual arousal and satisfaction by pulling the individual out of distraction, anxiety, and performance-based thinking. The context, applying mindfulness across life stages. Mindfulness is being applied across various domains, necessitating targeted tools and critical assessment for academic life and youth. Resources like Willem Kuyken's Mindfulness for Life, Eric Laux's The Mindful College Student, and the work of Jenny Marie Battiston and Lynette Bixby provide practices specifically for students. These tools are tailored to handling stress, improving focus for studying, managing academic pressures, and building resilience to navigate transitions and social life. Children's resources, such as Susan Verdi's I Am Peace, provide accessible, daily tools for anchoring calm and self-regulation, for everyday wisdom and practice. Books like Hemin Sunim's The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down emphasize the value of stillness and seeing the world through eyes unclouded by rush. Tools like the Mindfulness Journal by Barry Davenport and S.J. Scott provide structured exercises and prompts to foster daily intentionality and reflection. Finally, the critique of the movement is an essential part of a mindful approach. Ronald D. Purser's McMindfulness critique argues that the popular, secular version of mindfulness often strips away its ethical, social, and political roots, the core of Goldstein's work, and repackages it as a tool for individuals to better cope with stressful, exploitative corporate systems, rather than challenging the systems themselves. A fully mindful life, therefore, must include both internal practice and external ethical awareness.